Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Print is Back podcast. We are in a new episode, and I think it'll be an interesting one because we will be talking about the AI changes coming into our printing industry to show people what the idea behind it would be if everything is put in place and everything works. And then there is something that has been launched in January by Google. It's the UCP, they call it, the Universal Commerce Protocol. That's not only dedicated to the printing industry, of course, because there isn't a UCP for print yet. That's what the IOP, the people from Initiative Online Print and others are working on, to create also that universal protocol to be able that the agentic agents from the customer side will be able to talk about the agentic agents from the production side, from the businesses. So, and that is a big difference. And it's something that is today not yet developed. And that's why they're doing it. But it's very important to understand the differences, what that could bring, depending on the timeline when this will come into play. And it's that particular point that I'm trying to make, that people have to be aware of what might be coming in the next 12 months to 2 years of how print buying will be done online if you're not connected with an API from your side. Just to put everything into perspective before I show you what I came up with, is to tell the people that even the universal, that UCP protocol, the Universal Commerce Protocol that Google launched, that was only done just in January of this year, right? So it's very fresh, but it's going at light speeds. That doesn't mean that it will be there tomorrow, disrupting everything, but you can feel, anyways, I think you can. So you can feel that disruption is in the air and that you should probably look at it and decide for your own business if you need to be able to comply with, to be queryable for that new way of print buying. That said, I will just run that little application. It's a demo application, but everything inside it has been checked on agentic possibilities. And I will just share the screen of this app. I don't know if you can see the screen. You can see it. So basically what it is, could be something like you have open on your phone. You can see it here. Again, I'm just emphasizing on the fact it's only for demonstration purposes, right? So to make it easy, I have here like 4 presets that I preloaded. Let's say, okay, you could also speak to your agent, saying, okay, I want 5,000 flyers by Friday or something. Of course, your agent at that point will already know more or less what you want or in what type of design that you have at hand that you will be using to send out to the selected printer. So, but in this case, let's say I will want 3,000 flyers and I want it delivered by Friday. So if you then run your local agents, you run it. I will open this, but I will show you later. So what does it do? Sorry. So it does the different steps all by itself because it is an agentic agent. It can work on its own. It's not just like a chat bot that you use, but you send a prompt, you get the answer back. No, the agentic part is of course the part that the artificial intelligence can make decisions on its own, send out to the web, get answers back, and then present you the solution or the result, or even place the order. So what actually happened? I want the 3,000 flyers. Okay, 3,000 flyers, he says on the side. Okay, then he puts actually a query. He puts the question out to his fellow agentic agents that are connected from print shops. Of course, this is the gap that is not existing yet. And he pulls several quotes. But the AI agent knows, okay, within my profile that he knows from me, that's what I want, and that's the best quote for what you want as a customer. And I wanted it to be available before Friday. It'll ship on Wednesday, right? And you can see, okay, a little bit here. Again, it's just demo purposes. It's in pounds. It could be anything you want, of course. And in this case, we ordered 3,000, which here we get a 15% volume discount and so forth. So you get a quotation, which for you is the best, for your agent, is the best possible solution. Depending on how you set it up, as I said, if we order or reorder 500 business cards, he already knows what it is and what you will get, and you know what you will get. So in that case, you don't need to you could, if you want the system or your agent to pause and ask you the question, is this okay? Do you want to order or not? But once this becomes like mainstream and perfected, then at some point there won't be that necessity for certain products that it has to stop and come and ask you again. So this is what is happening here. This is basically what happens within the production side on the agent side. So as the same as you order any product online, you get, for the logistics anyway, you get like a message, okay, we have sent your product, it's out of the door, and blah, blah, blah. That is what is called a webhook, right? The system sends a signal to your agent that then informs you, or within the system, that all the different processes have been done. And of course, this is the log and the logging of what is going on within the agent. So I'll start it again just to show you. So I'll go to the 5,000 flyers again. I'll leave it like this. I run the agent. So we know that you will get the quotation. And then you can see all by itself, the order was accepted. He's communicating with the agent from the producing side. The order is accepted. The pre-press is being processing and accepted. Plate making, on press, finishing cutting, quality check, dispatched. Of course, not all at once, but in the time frame that they promise you. But this is actually the agentic process that is running from your side. You said, I want the flyers. Your agent communicates with the selected partner that he trusts, right? And from there on, he places the order because it's all within the boundaries and what was set. The production side agent is communicating back to the client agent. It's all in the background. You as a human, as a user, you don't know that unless you want your agent to prompt all the different statuses. And these are the different statuses. This is basically the rundown of the operational progress within the print shop, right? But everything is checked, and then you get the dispatch. And of course here, then you get order is on its way, because in the end here, you get that workflow complete, webhook is fired, and in this case, your personal agent knows that you will get the product because it's dispatched, and then it goes into the logistics system like we know it. You get by DHL or whatever, who the selected partner is. You then get also the information on when your package or when your product will arrive. That is basically what can happen and that will happen in the future as a demo. I'll just show you one more, and that is, for example, here. I could also go tap to speak, but for books and if it's more complicated, that will be probably a bit difficult. Here, for example, I want to order 250 books. And I know my file is 128 pages. It will be in 4:4, 17 by 24. I want it on a 90 gram uncoated, and I want it to be on a 350 grams cover. I'm not decided yet for the finishing, okay? And I want it with a standard delivery. Depending on how you set up your agent, I'll run this now, I'll run it, poof. And okay, I want 250, this size, 128 pages in 4:4, and I have a standard lead time. But then it's clever enough. How should we finish your book? He can ask. So that's those pauses that I was telling you about. You can make it whatever you want. But here I can, for example, say, okay, do you want it PUR, polyurethane glued? Do you want a sewn book or a hot melt glued? Okay, I'll go for PUR because I wanted it for this. And then for my cover lamination, do you want non-matte or gloss? Okay, I want a matte lamination. And then you continue, click. And from there on, it's the same thing again. You get your quote, and he selects actually your partner, your printing partner, on all those different elements. And again, the most trusted, the most suited producer for your product will be selected. And depending again on if you want to have it order fully autonomously, you can do it. Of course, there can be many pauses that you can build in to have a check and so forth. But this, in short, is actually how that agentic process will run, and the buying conversation between one agent, your personal agent, and the agent of the printing company. And that will be called the UCP, the Universal Commerce Protocol for print. But it's being developed as we speak. And I find this very, very interesting, and I'm excited about it. But you can also see that it might be very, very uncomfortable for many people, because most or many of us are not ready for this, because all our data is not structured in a way that it will be queryable by that API. So I hope it makes sense, Andres. What is your
Absolutely.
idea?
It's so smart. It's so smart in that sense. And for sure, I think it's the best convenience you can get. So it's so easy to use, and as you said before, we know from using services like booking.com how high the standard is for the best convenience. We know it. And now it could become part also of any print business. And I think a lot of people will have questions. So that's what I meant by saying it's the beginning of something, because one aspect for me is always, are we able to have a very solid, trustable technical solution? I'm sure we will get it. So when it has to be compatible with the Google Word. So the Google Word function, you can hate it, you can love it, but it's working absolutely well, also on the highest standard. And if they partner with something, it has also to work absolutely correct. So, and then it's up to the print service providers to rethink their business approach. And therefore, it's quite good if this agentic print commerce scenario takes a little while to be ready. So in the meantime, there's for the industry, for the print shop world, is a lot to do. But I'm so happy that we have that perspective, because that was I'm missing.
Yeah. I think this is the main difference, and I think this is the big differentiator. We're not really only talking about technical solutions or IT solutions. Of course, the AI is, you have to have IT knowledge, of course, to implement. But I think it's a big strategic decision to make the leap. To make the leap
Yeah.
to decide that you are going in on this adventure. Those who don't go in on that adventure, I think, and not only I think that, but I'm going to quote Leon Melo, a guy from Switzerland. He's a very knowledgeable consultant in that area. He at the BOPE literally said the website is losing its role as the central channel. So this will be the reality not so far from now. Also, Ludovic Martin said it. Bernd Zipper is saying it. The guys from the IOP are saying it, and they're working on it to try to develop that universal print language that we all will need to have a general language that we can agree on. So once that is in place, again, keeping in mind the EU regulations that will have to be included in those protocols as well. And that, I think you're right, Andreas. That gives us a certain amount of time still to keep or to be within the game, to be able to play the game. Whilst in the US, it's already taking form, but we here in Europe anyway, I think this is a huge opportunity. And I think this was a podcast, like you said, to to entice people to think about what is coming, to understand what is coming. If you don't understand it, listen to a podcast or get informed on what it means for the business. And I mean, it's huge. The leaps that are being made, it's huge, but you still can get on board.
Because we step into a world nobody has experienced before. So everybody has to learn, everybody can win, and also everybody can lose. That's part of the business, and I love that.
It's a strategic approach
Yeah.
to where you want to go. So perfect.
Cool.
Andreas, great insights. I really liked it. And as you can tell, I'm fairly enthusiastic, and I try to be on the forefront of as an observer what is happening in that print agentic space. And I will be following it up, and hopefully we can share again some of the news in that area as well in the next episode. So, but also for everybody watching, remind the call to action that Andreas was referring to. Please share and comment on ideas, and yeah, we might pick it up and dedicate a conversation or a podcast as well to those topics. That would be great. So for now, Andreas, thank you very much, and yeah, we will surely see each other very soon, as this is is continuously evolving at very rapid speeds. So there will be surely a lot to discuss in the near future again. So for now, guys, thank you very much. Andreas, thank you.
Thank you very much, Jacques. It was a great inspiration talking to you, as always.
Alrighty.
Bye
Perfect.
bye.
Well, thank you, and we'll catch you in the next one. Bye. Cheers.